Okay, guys. Today we're going to be talking about different soft plastics, ribbon tail worms, your lizards, your crawdads, just different soft plastics for bass fishing that I know work, that I've used. Obviously, I have them here. And some of the package are fairly, if not empty, because I know that they work and I've gone through several. Um, the first thing I want to talk about are your ribbon tail worms. Okay? Now, your ribbon tail worms are probably the most used soft plastic out there. People love them. They're easy to Texas rig. You can use them near anywhere. You don't have to worry about them getting tangled in the lily pads or the moss. And I mean, that goes with pretty much anything here. Almost any soft plastic you can Texas rig. And I know I talk about that a lot, but I love Texas rig. That's pretty much all I use when I bass fish with soft plastics. Now, my favorite is, there's a lot of culprit here. I know you see that, but they do not sponsor me in any way. I just love culprit when it comes to ribbon tail worms. This is a green shad right here. Here we have their pearl. As you can see, I really don't use those that much because my pond is so murky. And there's a lot of controversy between using darker baits in light and clearer water and using brighter baits in murkier water. But I found that when using brighter baits in clearer water and darker color baits in murkier water, it's more effective. Now, one of my favorite soft plastics are crawdads. Just where I live, I have a large pond. Now, these two, as you can tell, are my favorite. Okay? The Rage Tail Watermelon Red by Strike King and the Havoc Crawfatty, and that is in Green Pumpkin Red. Okay? Now, this is one of the Havoc 4-inch crawfatties in the Green Pumpkin Red, and it has been used today. I used it, and I did catch a bass with it today, just fishing after I worked on my Jeep some. Now, these Rage Tail, I do like them, and depending on where you're fishing, these are a little heavier than the Havoc. And I find that the Havoc kind of skims the water. To me, it's better in lily pads and close to the bank, where more open areas, more open little cubby holes off from the bank. I use the Rage Tail more often because it's a little heavier, so it sinks faster. But you don't have to. With these, they're more flattened out. You don't have to worry about getting hung up as much, in my opinion. These, the claws are a little larger. They protrude a little more, and it doesn't help when getting wrapped up. Now, nobody here is sponsoring me. I'm just telling you my opinion on the best soft plastics. Now, honestly, I had not used the Havoc until this package. I had only used the Rage Tail, but I've gone through several packages of the Rage Tail, and they are very effective in areas high lily pads and high moss, because once they get, either one of these really, once they get on top of the lily pads, you know, you can skim them almost like a frog. You can almost walk them like a frog. But these are very nice, and the whatever you use here, make sure it's close to the murkiness of the water that you're fishing in. Bright water, use bright bait. Murkier water, use darker bait. Fish see that as prey, just like anything else in the animal kingdom. Okay? Different insects, you see a bright insect, that means it's dangerous. That's why birds don't go after them. Same thing with fish. Alright? Now the last thing that I'm going to talk about that I haven't had that much experience with, but has still seen its fair share, are the lizards. Alright? Now these are by Hard Nose. Okay? These are the watermelon red. Alright, and I have caught quite a few bass on these, but I haven't caught that many. It hasn't been as effective to me as the crawdads or the ribbon tails. Especially pre-spawn. Now, the crawdads pre-spawn, I would highly recommend pre-spawn. And then the ribbon tails more closely to post-spawn. These I would also recommend closer to post-spawn, or anytime after in the summer, anything like that. Skim the edges of the bank on the lily pads with these worms, and you are sure to get a hit if there's a bass there. Now, I've had plenty of experience with all these brands, with Power Bait, Hard Nose, Zoom, Havoc, Culprit, Strike King, all these, alright? In my personal opinion, when it comes to ribbon tails, you can't beat Culprit. Crawdads, one of these two. You got to go one of these two. Okay, you guys. Alright. My video cut out on me there. So, like I said, Culprit, to me, the best to use for ribbon tail. Now, I mean, I'm not, trying to say anybody else has bad worms. I'm just saying Culprit's worked for me, so I've stuck with it. Really, I'm not too picky when it comes to lizards, because, I mean, to be honest, I don't use them that often. Now these lizards, though, the Hard Nose watermelon red lizards, they have worked well for me when I do use them. But as far as crawdad go, you have to, I mean, in my opinion, you got to go with either the Havoc or the Rage Tail. Go with either the Green Pumpkin Red or the the Watermelon Red. Alright. I think these are 6-inch and these are 4-inch. But every plastic that I've gone over, you can Texas rig. That's all I do is Texas rig them. Okay? From the ribbon tail to the lizard to the crawdad, all of these I use I either use a 3/0 offset worm hook or a 3/0 offset G hook. It doesn't really matter. I mean, and you can change size if you want to. That combined with, I usually stick with about a 5/16 ounce bullet weight. You can use a regular bullet weight, or me, I like to have mine secured so it doesn't slide on the line. I use a screw-in bullet weight. Now, the ribbon tails, I can speak for well. I've used them got at least, I'd probably say at least about 15 years I've used the culprits. Same thing with the crawdads. I've used them about the same amount of time, if not longer. The lizards I have not used as much, but I have caught bass on them. I do know they work. Now, crawdads, as far as when to use them, I'd use the crawdads like I'm using them right now as pre-spawn. These to me are the best pre-spawn soft plastic. Okay? The other two I found work better during post-spawn and summer months, along with, you know, your topwater baits, your frogs, and all that. But all of these, like I said, Texas rig every time, and I never come home without a fish. Alright? You just gotta choose your spot, choose the right pond, you know, wherever you go, and make sure you're using these baits at the right time, and you will catch a fish. Alright? These are my 3 best soft plastic, in my opinion. None of these, like I said, none of them sponsor me. But, you know, I'm kind of, I may get back into trying to use the lizard some. But these two, pre-spawn, post-spawn, to me that's the best when it comes to soft plastics. And like I said, make sure you stick with the color of these. The darkness of them needs to be around the same murkiness as your pond. You got a clear pond, you don't want to use a dark bait. Use a brighter bait, a lighter bait. Like, you may not want to use something this bright, but these are the 7.5 inch culprit pearl rimtails. Okay? I found that those work quite well in lighter waters. Now in my pond, like I said, it's murky, so I use usually a watermelon color. It's a darker color. Or the green shad have worked well for me, but the black shad have worked better. But thank you guys for watching my video. Please like and subscribe.